Hey guys, TRScientist here, and today I've moved on in the PettyRevenge tier list onto r/PettyRevenge for day number 1 at the moment. We've got another 30 days after this episode. Oh boy, let's get into it. First up, faked proof that I had a flat tire so that the lazy people in my group project would have to do the presentation themselves. Therefore, likely will fail. Ooh. I'm in a class where a group project / presentation is a huge chunk of overall points. Everyone knows in group projects you always have that one slacker that doesn't do anything that you have to compensate for. However, I got stuck with possibly the worst 3 people in a project in the class. I did the entire research, presentation, poster boards, etc. among many other annoying things myself. I tried talking to them and telling them they needed to put in their share of effort. Ignored. I'd send them tasks to do. Ignored. I tried to schedule meetings. They said they were coming and then leave me alone at the library. Oh my goodness. This happened from the get-go. It was abundantly clear that they expected everyone else to do the work, but everyone else turned out to be just me. Rule: we couldn't have things 100% memorized word for word, and we couldn't read off of anything. We actually had to know the subject. Oh, I was fully prepared to do most of the talking and even wrote down a small script for them and told them to know what to say during their part at the very least. The night before I told them we had to meet to at least go over the whole thing one time. Once again, none of them showed. At this point I'm livid and decide they can just do it themselves, which means they get up there, not know a damn thing to say other than the small info I gave them, and couldn't even bullshit anything because they had no research. Thing is, if we miss without an excuse, we failed the project. If you have an excuse, you have to have documentation. I commute and live an hour away, so I decided that I'll conveniently have a flat tire right before class. Went out and actually brought a tire so I could have the receipt to prove it. Emailed the professor, who said I can present by myself during his office hours. Turns out they completely bombed and not only probably failed the project, but since they're bad students, might even make them fail the class. Edited to say the professor stated at the beginning that we were not allowed to contact him about people slacking in the group and said to work it out amongst ourselves. Said that we were adults and that he wouldn't even respond to emails about it. Okay. Like, if someone is slacking, especially your whole freaking group, I feel like there's an exception when you're the only person doing 100% of the work. Take my parking spot that I just dug out? Fine, I'll bury your car. This happened a couple years ago. It snowed a bunch, so I went out to clear a spot for my boyfriend at the time for when he got home from work. Police officer. I spent a while digging it out, and as I was finishing up, some girl drove up and parked in it while I was still shoveling it. Very rude. I told her that I just dug it out intending to use it and asked her to move, and she didn't. Then she got out of her car and walked away. Turns out she lived 2 buildings down, so she normally wouldn't park there anyways. Our complex had a mini snowplow, and the dude was plowing in the area and saw this all go down. He helped me move all the snow from the pile he just created and put it all around her car. We buried it up to the door handles on all sides. Then he dug out a new spot for me. Saw her later trying to dig out her car. Turns out she didn't have a shovel. So naturally, because I'm petty, I went out and reshoveled the sidewalk and the lot up to our building and threw all of the snow on her vehicle while I did it. Then went inside and took my shovel with me. That's gold. Emphasis added for people who didn't get why I was so petty. Answers to questions for clarification. I only mentioned boyfriend was a cop to justify why he was at work during all the snow, which is why I was digging him out a spot. Also, the spot was between two other cars, so she couldn't even walk alongside the side of her car to get to the door, which also meant that it didn't take much snow to bury her car in. It's like, I spent all this time digging out a parking spot. Oh, free parking spot. That someone else just shoveled just for me. No, it was not for you, it was for my boyfriend. Fuck you. I put a fake note on Corvair's windshield that read, "Sorry I hit your car." You probably wouldn't even notice the damage because it was taking up 4 spots. Oh my god. So title is pretty self-explanatory, but I'll elaborate. I was trying to find a parking spot at my university. The lot was notoriously crowded, but my campus didn't have a lot of options. While searching, I saw Corvair taking up 4 prime spots near the front of the lot. After about 10 minutes of waiting / looking for a spot, one opened up towards the back of the lot. Furious at the nerve of the driver being so inconsiderate, I wrote a note saying, "Sorry I hit your car." You probably wouldn't even notice the damage, and left it on their windshield. When I got out of class and was headed back to my car, I saw a very stereotypical college-age Corvette owner frantically searching their vehicle while yelling into their phone. I don't know who they were talking to, but I feel bad for them having to deal with this person. Good, it's nice and simple. That is just simple. Just like, leave a note in your car and just like, search the car. Where's the damage? And last one, take my parking spot. What goes around, comes around. This may be the pettiest thing I have ever done. So in my city, there is a pub that's attached to a donut shop that serves the best donuts in the city, which always causes a long line. Because it's attached to a pub, it doesn't close shop until 9 PM, as there is a solid flow of business rolling in. Anyway, my girlfriend and I get a serious hankering for some snacks, and we decide to head to the donut shop and arrive out around 8:30 PM by car. Now, there are only 3 parallel parking spots a little up the street from the place, and they're all 15-minute spots, which are usually full. We see up the street that, count our lucky stars, a spot is free. My girlfriend pulls a little ahead of the car in front of the spot, turns on her indicator and begins backing into the parking spot when this little white Vespa driving behind us whips into the spot. I roll down our window and call out to the driver, "Excuse me, we were just backing in." The driver seems to be a pretty university student who shrugs her shoulders and calls out to me, "Sorry, first come, first serve," while her and her friend share a good laugh. Oh my gosh. My girlfriend suggests we just get donuts another time, and I tell her she can drop me off here. I'll buy the donuts since I know what she likes, and she can loop around. She agrees. I pop out of the car, past the little white Vespa where the girls are still gathering their things, and head to the shop. As always, the line is super long for donuts, and since this is the last batch, the donuts are slim pickings. The girls are behind me, looking at the 5 or so different flavors that are left, talking about which ones are best and which they haven't had yet. I hear one of them jokingly mention, "Thank God we got a parking spot," and burst out laughing. I get to the front of the line, and when asked for my order, I request 2 dozen donuts, which is every last one remaining. The girls behind me didn't listen to what I ordered, but eyebrows of confusion started forming their faces, and they slowly saw each donut loaded into the boxes and their options dwindle. One of them, the driver, in desperation asked the baker who was loading them in, "What? You're not even going to save a few for us though?" To which I turned around and said, "Sorry, first come, first serve." She honestly looked like she just simultaneously solved a movie mystery and shit her pants. It's difficult to put into words, but truly an expression I can never forget. Best donuts I ever tasted, and enjoyed by the rest of my office the next morning. Nice! I love how he's just like, sorry, first come, first serve. And just goes right, and just be like, I'm taking all these donuts for me. But people that take over people's parking spots are assholes. I have seen it literally happen. I've been in the car that's happened too, with my mum. Like, literally what happened was, my mum reverse parks into parking spots. Car came up behind and it's just like, whoop, I've taken this spot from you. It's like, wow. Very rude. I did not do what this guy did and like call out, hey, you were backing into that spot. Because it's just like, I'm not going to deal with that. I am only a teenager at the time. So, fair play to the guy. The person that just took our parking spot for free, basically. Anyways, links will be in the description to my main channel and also this channel. Also, links on the screen to the last video, the last episode of the r/malicious compliance section and the playlist. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video comes out. I'm Mad Scientist out.